Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Taylor, and if you're new here, welcome to the Daily Tea. Today's video is going to be episode 3 of Tuesday Talks with T. I know I did not do a Tuesday Talks last week, but I had some stuff going on, but that's okay. But I am back now and we are going to be getting right into this video. Before we get into the video, please don't forget to like, comment, and also share this video. And if you haven't already, I would love for you to be a part of my Daily Tea family. So just go ahead and hit that subscribe button. That way you do not miss out on any of the new stuff that I have coming towards you all, as well as hitting that notification bell. That way you can be the first to know whenever I drop something new. So with that all being said, let's get into the video. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about being a performing artist. I've mentioned it before, but if you don't know and if you're new to my channel, I am a company member in the Broadway show Hadestown. I recently just joined the company pretty much 3 days before the shutdown of this whole coronavirus, COVID pandemic thing. I thought I would just get on here and pretty much talk about what it's like being a performing artist and how it's kind of been affecting multiple artists, especially those still trying to work during this pandemic, and some of the things that we go through, like the behind the scenes, especially regarding when it comes to our worth, our pay, our worth, all of that stuff. So I'm gonna just straight jump right into it because it's no point of lollygagging and drawing this video out. So the reason why I even decided to make this video is because a beautiful young performing artist by the name of Kayla, I don't want to mess up her last name, so I'm not going to say it and butcher it, but I will leave her Instagram handle down below. She was on her Instagram page, on her platform, and she was talking about artists and how we have not been getting paid what we should be getting paid. It kind of brought up a lot of stuff within me, and it made me really realize I honestly do disservice myself a lot in the namesake of what I love to do. There's a lot of things that we go through as artists, and one of the biggest things is putting ourselves on the line, and then we expect to get paid for all of the hard work that we have put out on the line. And a lot of times we're not, sad to say, we are not being paid our worth. As an artist, you spend a lot of time training to get to where you're trying to go. So that means most people usually will spend 4 years in school in a conservatory. They might do a 2-year program or whatever, training and getting yourself prepared for the real world. So that means taking classes, whether it be dance classes, acting classes, singing lessons, privates. You're doing workshops, you're going off and you're doing auditions, like actual auditions. You're doing performances. You still have work on top of that. You spend all this money. People take advantage of artists because what they have in their mind is that, oh, they want to be here. It's for the love of the work that they're doing. They will sacrifice their pay, their worth, just to be in said production or do said gig or whatever the case may be. And it's really sad that sometimes you end up chasing a show, a gig, just for the satisfaction to say, I did it. But then there's no monetary, there's nothing monetary attached to it. I have been in multiple situations where I have done things and I know I definitely should have either gotten paid way more or I should have become a part of the union. In Kayla's video, she was talking about how she had had a couple of gigs lined up, and one of the gigs that she was actually supposed to do, they only wanted to pay her $20 for 2 rehearsals and a performance. When she said that, I honestly wanted to just kind of scream a little bit on her behalf, because if that isn't the most slap in your face thing that you could ever do to a performing artist, no doubt, I understand we are in the middle of a pandemic. I understand that people's budgets are not nearly as much as they probably would be before this, but to downgrade someone who has a resume, who has credits to their name, who has been out here training for however long they've been training, and they're trying to continue the hustle, and you say that they are only worth $20. Honestly, $20 in New York City, you couldn't even get a real full lunch, because god dang, lunches nowadays are like $15. You subject somebody to say that they are worth $20, that is the holy grail of slaps in the face. It's been going on well before COVID even hit. And I started to see, I didn't really notice it before, but I started to see it really dwindle down. I want to say within like 2018 and 2019 is when I started to see such a shift in how much people were paying artists. It's almost laughable because it's so bad how much people have, I guess, have in their minds that we are worth nothing. We are worth pennies almost. But the biggest experience I would like to say would have to be when I worked at a theater. I will leave this theater nameless. It was out in Colorado, and we were doing a very big production of a very well-known musical. That's all I will say. This was like, I want to say this is like my first real big like production, like regional production. And I auditioned, got in. I was in the ensemble. I covered a principal role, and I was also the dance captain. And I believe they were gonna pay me $900 and something. And when I asked for my equity card, they said no. And I went, wow, that's funny. I'm going to be putting in a lot more work than a lot of people, and you guys will not give me my equity card. And I think from that contract forward was when I told myself I cannot accept anything less, because that production, I put in so much work. And the thing that always killed me was you had money to build this show from the ground up, literally sets built from the ground up, costumes built for my body. There is literally a costume out in Colorado that nobody else can fit into because it was built for my body shape. It wasn't a costume that existed. It was literally built from ground up. We were staying in these actually nice apartments that were in walking distance. Y'all would take us on field trips. Y'all would have these people come in. We had an entire dramaturg. We had a dialect coach. And yet you guys would not give me my equity card. Make it make sense, because it didn't make sense to me as an artist that I was going to be put through hell and not see the fruits of the labor. Like, it didn't make sense. I decided to let it slide because I was like, this is such a great opportunity and this is going to look so good on my resume. I would literally look at these auditions and I would see how much they would be paying at these equity regional houses, the principal roles. And I would see $400, $500, $600. A lot of my colleagues, they would wonder why I wasn't showing up to these auditions. And it was just because, am I really gonna take a almost like a pay cut? It got to the point that it was so bad that there was one equity house I saw, it was like $350. $350. And of course, you have to think this is all before taxed. This is all before you tax that money. So you're telling me that I'm going to leave my place of employment, because a lot of times these restaurants, depending on where you work, like I was working at a restaurant, I mean, I could only be gone for a certain amount of time because, you know, that's somebody that they would have to fill in. It's like, it's a whole situation. And the fact that I wasn't going to auditions because I was like, why would I give up getting paid $800 and $900 a week at my restaurant job, and I only have to work there maybe 4 times, 5 times a week, and go off to Bumble Backwoods, I don't know, Rhode Island, to go do this show for $350 with all this rehearsal for me to only do a couple of performances and I could be getting paid $900 to go serve a table. Like, that's how bad it got, to the point that I just stopped auditioning. I just stopped auditioning because I went, what is the point? Like, y'all really think that I'm only worth $350, but yet y'all still want me to move sets and remember lines and understudy multiple people and live in a, excuse my French, a shitty ass, like, apartment, like, with housing and all that stuff. Like, y'all really think that I'm gonna uproot myself for that little bit of money for a month and a half of work? It's just such a slap in the face. I can't tell you how much a slap in the face it is to say that these people uproot their lives. They train for years, they grind, they hustle, they have multiple jobs, and they still manage to find a way to come to your audition and memorize all of these scripts and sides and pages and learn songs within 24 hours, and you want it to be perfect, and then you cast and then you pay them nothing. Nothing. And it's just so disheartening because you have these young kids fresh out of college, fresh from wherever they're from, and they're gonna do it. And they're gonna think that it's okay. They're gonna think that it's okay to only get paid $100 a week before tax and do a whole production of Ragtime. And if anybody knows, Ragtime is a long behind show. And they're gonna think that it's okay. And it's not. It's not. It's not okay. You get to a point where you're like, no, I can't do this anymore. I'm not doing it anymore. Because there are things that, like, now as a 30-year-old woman, I have to think about. I have to think about a retirement plan. I have to think about the simple fact that, do I want to be renting an apartment my entire life? At some point, I actually might want to live in a house. I actually might want to live in a place where I can actually have a car and drive and not have to worry about getting caught in the rain waiting for, you know, a train to come. I have to think about, I want to have a kid. You know how much money a kid costs? New York City is not cheap. I'm gonna have to pay in order to keep up so that I am at my best. Classes cost money. Voice lessons cost money. And you wanna pay us Triscuits. Like nothing, like nothing. But again, you get to a point in your life where you cannot disservice yourself and you cannot take pay cuts. I thought I would just come on here and I thought I would just share a little bit of my experience when it comes to being an artist and knowing my worth, knowing all of the things that I have to offer, and knowing that it's okay to say no. It's okay to be okay with not doing everything for the sake of your well-being and for the sake of your worth. Point blank period. Hope you all enjoyed this video. I know it was probably a little ranty, a little all over the place, but honestly, it's just something that's kind of been on my heart. And big thanks to Kayla for putting out her video. Again, I will link her Instagram down below so that you all can watch her video. She pretty much hit it on the head when it came to everything that I think all of us artists are feeling and wanted to say. And let's just keep spreading this word out. Again, I love you all. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I want to keep giving you all this beautiful content. And until next time, bye.